Hey, this is Smokin' Dave, and you're listening to a man with a perfect tournament bracket. And no, it does not matter that he filled it out this morning. It's the Kevin Friedman Show.
It's Tuesday, March 20th, and that means another SportsGossip.com podcast is on the air. I'm Kevin Friedman, and I've got the 10 hottest stories off the SportsGossip.com website. This is episode number 6, and if you're just catching up to this show, you can go back and listen to all 5 episodes. They're probably 5 of the most important broadcasts in the last 50 years. As always, I've got the best announcer in the business with me, Smokin' Dave. So prepare your ears for the smoothest voice in the business. Dave, give us that first story.
Justin Timberlake has got game at Wizards practice court.
Let me start by saying I don't like Justin Timberlake. I hate his music. And any guy over the age of 12 who likes his music should take a look in the mirror and slap himself in the face. The fact that the NFL chose this guy to perform their halftime show for the Super Bowl is embarrassing. The only good thing about Justin Timberlake performing Super Bowl halftime was that I didn't have to watch it. I could go to the garage with my friends and smoke some weed for 30 minutes. I mean, if the NFL thinks their fan base wants to see a guy run around and dance and sing like he had his balls cut off, they're out of their mind. Hell, I would have rather see Smokin' Dave's Barbershop Quartet perform than Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake's target demographic is teenage girls and soccer moms. What does that have to do with the NFL? Or sports in general? I'm sick of seeing Justin Timberlake associated with sports. Guys don't like him. Any guy that likes his music has mental problems. Get him out of here. I never want to see him in another sporting event again. Next story.
Rajon Rondo rips Ray Allen's new book.
In Ray Allen's new book, there's a story that claims Rajon Rondo says he was the key to the Celtics' 2008 title run and that he carried the team. It's a well-known fact that Rondo and Ray Allen do not like each other, so for a story like this to be in the book is not too shocking. What's shocking to me is why is Ray Allen writing a book? And who the hell wants to read it? I mean, no offense, you're a good basketball player, you're a great shooter, but you gotta have a book written about you? Ray Allen, in an 18-year NBA career, earned $184 million. But I guess he needs a little more because he's got to write a book. It's either that or he just has a huge ego. I don't care if you're the biggest Celtics fan around. If you buy that book, you're an asshole. I would love to ask Ray Allen why he's writing this book and why he felt the need to write this book. The only answer is, I have a huge ego. It can't be you need money. You made $184 million. What, you think people can't wait to read the chapter about the time you shot the movie He Got Game with Spike Lee? Nobody cares, guy. You made $184 million. Just enjoy it and quit bothering people. Nobody wants to read your book. Dave, you excited for the Ray Allen book?
Oh yeah, about as excited as I am for my prostate exam this afternoon. Dr. Fist, if you're listening, please be gentle.
Dr. Fist, huh?
He comes highly recommended.
I bet he does. Next story.
Floyd Mayweather applying for MMA license.
So Floyd says he's going to apply for a license and start training alongside MMA fighter Tyrone Woodley. Floyd is 41 years old and has made close to $1 billion in his boxing career. This move makes Ray Allen writing a book sound sensible. When it comes to boxing, I'm a huge Floyd Mayweather fan. Granted, his fights are usually boring, but he always got the W. What might be even more impressive than his boxing was the way that he controlled his own career. Boxing is a historically corrupt sport where the boxers always were taken advantage of, and Floyd put an end to that. Granted, if Floyd does fight in the MMA, it'll be the biggest payday of his career probably. But unless they're matching him up against a cream puff, he's probably going to lose. There's no way he could last 30 seconds with Conor McGregor in an MMA ring. What Floyd really needs is a friend to sit him down and tell him, A, forget about the MMA. B, get rid of your 50-person entourage. None of them are your friends. They all just want your money. C, stop betting thousands of dollars on basketball games. And D, just enjoy your life. You won the lottery. You got tons of money. As long as you don't act like an idiot and spend it all and invest in strip clubs, you're going to live like a king for the rest of your life, and so will the rest of your family. So get a brain, give up on MMA, enjoy your perfect boxing career, don't ruin your legacy, and listen to my advice because I'm the only one giving it to you straight. Smokin' Dave, what's next?
Rory McIlroy got heckled about his wife and now wants to limit alcohol sales.
So a fan at the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill in Orlando this weekend was following around Rory screaming his wife's name. McIlroy, who won the tournament and earned $1.6 million for the win, decided to cry like a little baby after the tournament because he didn't like a fan talking about his wife. Now, if this fan was using vulgar language, I could understand this a little. However, the fan was just yelling out his wife's first name over and over, and Rory couldn't handle it. He now wants the PGA to limit alcohol sales at tournaments as a result. Hey Rory, who do you think pays your salary, buddy? You know who pays your salary? Tiger Woods and alcohol. Anheuser-Busch is one of the biggest sponsors on the PGA Tour, and I doubt very much that they want to limit alcohol sales. Through golf and endorsements, McIlroy earns an estimated $40 million per year. If you can't handle one fan yelling out your wife's name while you're working, then go find another job. I highly doubt you're going to make $40 million doing it. Rory McIlroy might as well change his name to Shooter McGavin. I mean, I don't get people that go out to watch golf in the first place. I mean, it could be one of the most boring things you could do. You go and stand around and watch others play golf, and now you want them to do it without any beer? You just wait, Rory. See what happens if they take away alcohol at golf events. You'll be playing in front of 15 people. And when Tiger leaves, you'll be playing in front of 3 people. Your $40 million annual salary will go down to $40,000. Then we'll see how you like it with no alcohol. My advice for Rory is to shut his mouth, play golf, and if somebody wants to talk about your wife, you ignore him. Don't get me wrong, I'm not defending the fan. The fan does have the right to yell out, but he is an asshole for doing it. However, Rory is the bigger asshole for not just ignoring him. McIlroy's got to just shut his mouth and play golf. What's next?
The Milwaukee Brewers reenact famous Sandlot scene.
So the Milwaukee Brewers apparently have nothing better to do than reenact movie scenes at spring training. It is the 25th anniversary of the movie The Sandlot, and you can go on sportsgossip.com to check out the video of this reenactment. The Sandlot is a good baseball movie, but it's not in the top 5 of all-time baseball movies, sorry. If you're going to do a reenactment, pick a better movie. My top 5 all-time baseball movies in order. Number 1, actually I'll go backwards. Number 5, Moneyball. Number 4, A League of Their Own. Number 3, The Natural. Number 2, Brewster's Millions. And number 1, Major League. I've got The Sandlot number 8 behind Bad News Bears and Fever Pitch. Smokin' Dave, give us your all-time best baseball movie.
Air Bud 7th Inning Stretch.
Air Bud 7th Inning Stretch is your favorite baseball movie.
Hell yeah, that dog can act.
On that note, let's take a break. We'll be back with the remaining 5 stories right after this.
Hello, my name is Ivan Babushka of Ivan Babushka's Dining Emporium. I have purchased following radio ad as a result of the bad rumor that Ivan Babushka's Dining Emporium has rat droppings in their soup. I am here to assure you that there are no rat droppings in our soup. So come to Ivan's Dining Emporium where we do not have rat droppings in our soup, and we have the best vatrushka in town. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Ivan. Remember to go to Ivan's Dining Emporium where they do not have rat droppings in the soup. Dave, give us that next story.
Referees got a full security escort off the floor in Toronto.
DeMar DeRozan, Serge Ibaka, and head coach Dwayne Casey were all ejected in the Raptors' 132-125 loss to the Thunder Sunday night. After the games, the refs had to be escorted off the court by security as the fans were booing them like crazy. You can watch this video at sportsgossip.com, and I gotta be honest, I side with the refs on this one. Reffing a basketball game is not an easy job. Mistakes are going to be made, and that's a fact of life. Your job as a professional basketball player is to move on and not let the mistakes affect your game. You don't see them complaining when they get the benefit of a doubt on a call. The ref's only defense in this situation is to throw you out of the game, and that's what they did. So learn your lesson, quit bitching about bad calls, and just play the game. Next story.
Loyola wins another game on a last-second shot.
Yes, the 11th seed Ramblers hit another last-second game-winning shot to knock off Tennessee and advance to the Sweet 16. It's their first appearance in the Sweet 16 since 1985, and I gotta be honest, I'm from Chicago, And I'm a big sports fan, so that's the only reason I even know the Ramblers existed. But I guarantee at least 75% of the Chicago population had no idea Loyola even had a basketball team as of 2 weeks ago. Hell, I've been on the Loyola campus in the past 2 years, and I still wasn't even sure they had a basketball team. Now, this is a fun team to watch and a great story, but let's be honest, Chicago. You're all jumping on the bandwagon. Loyola does have one loyal fan in 98-year-old chaplain's sister Jean Dolores Schmidt.
Ooh, have you seen her pictures? She's hot.
I'm pretty sure you can't get her, Smoking Dave. I think she's a nun.
Are you kidding me? I've turned nuns before. I'm Smoking Dave. I'm the ultimate ladies' man.
Well, if there's anyone that could turn her, it would be you, Dave. Why don't you give us the next story?
Skip Bayless had his all-time worst prediction.
That's a bold statement because Skip Bayless has made some terrible predictions in his day. Skip predicted Arizona would go on and win the NCAA tournament, and shortly after, they were bounced in the first round by Buffalo. Skip definitely mushed Arizona with this prediction, but it is not his worst prediction by a long shot. You can go to sportsgossip.com and check out this article where you will see a long list of terrible predictions by Skip Bayless, including such gems as, quote, I'll say it again, give me RG3 over Luck any day, any night, any year, any career, end quote. Here's another Skip Bayless gem, quote, for the next 10 years, give me Josh Freeman over Cam. More accurate, clutch gene, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions last year, really like Cam. Love Josh in big games, end quote. Want some more? Quote, Browns just stole a starting quarterback. Brandon Weeden, much better than Tannehill. Will soon beat out Colt, have a good 6-7 year run. T-Rich and Weeden, end quote. Here's another gem by Skip, quote, you bet I'd take Tebow late in games over Aaron Rodgers. Tebow, 4-game winning drives and 9 starts. Aaron Rodgers, unproven. Not enough opportunities yet. End quote. The list goes on, and you can read them all at sportsgossip.com. I wouldn't be shocked to read a tweet in the future from Skip Bayless proclaiming O.J. Simpson is going to win Humanitarian of the Year. Smokin' Dave, what's next?
Speaking of O.J., O.J. Simpson isn't a fan of Colin Kaepernick's national anthem protests.
Yeah, O.J. sat down for an interview with the Buffalo News. I would love to know how much they paid him, and I guarantee he was paid in cash. But anyways, O.J. went on to discuss Colin Kaepernick in the interview, and he said, quote, I grew up at a time when deacons were in the KKK. I don't disrespect the Bible because of those guys. The flag shouldn't be disrespected because of what cops do. The flag represents what we want America to be, end quote. Now, I actually got to give it to O.J. on this one. His analogy made sense, and as much as I respect what Kaepernick's trying to do and what he stands for, sitting for the national anthem was not the right way to go about it. There were plenty of other ways to get his message across, and now he's only hurting himself. As far as O.J., he may make sense, but he's still a double murderer. Fred Goldman, my tip is still out there, buddy. Take advantage. You know where O.J. goes every night. He goes to the same bar to get the same drink. You send over a hot blonde to pick him up, take him home, give him some weed, get him drunk, get him back in jail. He breaks his parole. This is a great tip. Fred Goldman, take my advice, man. This is the only way you get O.J. to break his parole and get back in jail. Set him up, man. Dave, give us that final story.
Glenn Big Baby Davis denies running a drug ring in hilarious video.
This is easily my favorite story of the week. Big Baby was arrested in Maryland last month at a hotel with 126 grams of weed and 92 grand in cash in a briefcase. 126 grams. I just did the math. That's 4.5 ounces, 18 quarters, 36 eighths. Now you need about an eighth of weed. That's if you smoke a ton of weed. If you have an eighth a day, you'll survive. He had 4.5 ounces. He had 36 eighths on him with 92 grand in cash. The only reasonable explanation is you're dealing drugs. And this is crazy because he's 32 years old and he's made $32 million in career earnings as a basketball player. He hasn't played since May 2015, but he's still got to have some money. If he doesn't, that's insane. If he's got to deal drugs, that's insane. Well, in a response to the news that he was arrested with all this weed and cash, he put up a video of himself on a private plane eating a ton of Popeye's chicken, and he had a briefcase full of cash next to him, so he doesn't seem too concerned. Although when he goes to court, how is he going to explain the 126 grams of weed? I think he's going to jail. Anyways, you can go to sportsgossip.com and read all about this and watch the video of Big Baby on the private plane with the Popeye's chicken yourself. Smokin' Dave, what do you think about this story?
I'm appalled.
I figure Big Baby was your type of guy. I mean, your name is Smokin' Dave.
The weed and the cash isn't my problem. I love that. My problem is he went with Popeye's chicken over Brown's. Brown's is way better.
I'll give you that. I love Brown's chicken.
Brown's chicken, it tastes better.
That's a perfect way to wrap things up. I want to thank my announcer, Smokin' Dave. I want to thank you for listening. And remember, as always, you can go to sportsgossip.com for these stories and more. For now, I'm Kevin Friedman, and we'll see you next time.